It's time for, hello, a Jersey Shore recap podcast.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello again.
We're back with Jersey Shore Season 2, Episode 10. I'm Cookie.
And this is GWOW. Together we are Cookie and GWOW.
And we recap every episode of Jersey Shore from the beginning, episode by episode.
This is Season 2, Episode 10, called Gone, Baby Gone, because the producers are shady.
And we pick up right where we left off in the last episode with Angelina and Mike fighting, and the guy Angelina brought home awkwardly standing around, not knowing what to do.
Angelina's really making her way to fight with everybody in the house. And so this is Angelina versus Mike. We actually have so many funny quotes happening. Like everything everybody says is hilarious. So can I just read you some of the things that are just being like spewed during this moment?
Please, I insist.
Okay. Angelina says, "Do you talk to your mother like that?" And then Mike says that he's given her so many good chances and that he's the glue of this house, which is hilarious. And Ronnie says Mike's sitting still and Mike has ADD, so he never sits still. And then Angelina's friend says, "If you want to fuck 10 guys in one day, you can. It's your pussy. Let's go."
Okay, that's iconic. Oh my God. It was a funny fight. I mean, it probably wasn't fun for them, but it was fun to watch.
Everything you're saying is quotable. It was hilarious. Honestly, preach, girl. You want to fuck 10 guys in one day?
Hey,
it's
yeah.
your pussy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so because of this chaos, Paulie basically is like, okay, we need to have a family meeting. We learn this guy is named Alex, I think, because they ask him and they're like, okay, you need to go.
Yeah.
And he's like awkwardly like, okay.
He's happy to go. And I think we forgot to mention that Angelina, her and Mike actually fight. She attacks him and gets.
They don't fight. She hits him because he
right.
basically says like she knows that she can hit me because I'm a guy and I'm not going to hit her back because we're dealing with this like, you know, guys can't hit girls trope, which is kind of fucked up because it's like, why are you hitting anybody, period? And
I will say, out of all the guys, Mike has been punched in the face more than any of the other guys by the girls. What do you think it is about Mike that is punchable?
I think it's the instigation that gets punched, not the situation.
Yeah, Mike, the instigation. Yeah, absolutely. Because Jenny got in a good punch last season, and now Angelina's got one.
Actually, it's funny you say that because JWoww kind of says like, you know, as much as there's drama, I can relate. I punched Mike and she tries to level with Angelina kind of through that bonding of like, listen, he's made me that mad where I've been there, but you got to chill and you got to just like be here with us and not like you can't let it escalate to that. And she's actually trying to be a good friend to Angelina.
Yeah, and she really defends her right to be in the house because I feel like everybody else sort of has this attitude of like, you got to go, you're not welcome. And Jenny's like, well, listen, we're not getting along, but this is your house during like, you're part of this, whether we like it or not.
And I think that's where it comes down to like, I think we said this last episode, like it is an opportunity. That's why Angelina is there after all this drama. And I do think it is really nice and like humanizing for Jenny to be like, you do deserve to be here. You just gotta chill with like, I know I hit him too, but we can't be hitting people. We gotta just relax. She's trying to help her. Angelina doesn't really take the advice. In the moment, she's thankful for it for sure, but like that's not how she ends up reacting. Spoiler. She gets hot-headed instead. But Jenny's trying to be like, just chill.
She gets more of these moments than she deserves, Angelina. And maybe there's more moments off camera that we don't see or like not edited into the show where she's getting along with everybody.
Yeah.
Because it feels like she keeps getting these moments where somebody in the cast is like trying to defend her or be on her side. And she kind of always fumbles. Every time she has an ally, she fumbles it. Every time.
Shows more the character of the other people in the cast who are always willing to give her a lifeline. You know, like I feel like this scene, it makes me continue to roll my eyes at Angelina, but it makes me be like, look, JWoww, try, you know, it puts JWoww in the good light. Like, look, she tried. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And weirdly, all this happens. They're about to go out. They're planning to go out. This all happens before the night out. Usually,
actually, they say Angelina's gonna fight with Mike right before we go out because it's t-shirt time.
And then there's this moment. The guys are just being real goofy. I think they're trying to lighten the mood because they're about to go out. And I've been in the situation where you're about to go out and everybody gets in a fight and you're like, are we still going out? And so I think the guys are trying to lighten the mood. There's a really funny moment. I actually have a clip of it. Mike tries to call a cab and has a really
my gosh.
They ask his name and he says the situation and they don't quite understand. So I wanted to play that for you.
This is so funny.
Central Cab.
Can I get a taxi for 6 people?
Is the cab for you, sir?
Yes.
And what is your name, sir?
Situation.
Huh?
Situation.
One moment.
Hello, son.
Yes.
Who are we going to pick up?
Situation.
Hold on. Mira, dice que situation.
That's the name of the name of the guy.
That's the name of the hold on.
That's the name.
That's the name of the person?
Yes.
The name of the person?
Yes.
Hold on. Situation.
Situation? That's the name, probably.
That was a very funny moment.
That is so hilarious. I can't. Here's what's as funny as he couldn't say Mike, but he chooses to be hilarious, say situation, and that's why
he's funny.
Really funny. Yeah.
He is funny. Situation.
I love situation, not instigation, but situation, fucking hilarious. And they all decide to go out. And actually, you even said like they kind of have this like, should we still go out moment? Like Angelina's friend Gina is there and they decide, yeah, let's still go out. And they are going to Clutch. And if you remember from last episode, part of the reason that there was this Mike Angelina fight is because Mike was cleaning up the house so that he could have his girl Samantha meet them at the club and come back after. So he brings Samantha. Oh, actually, he brings Samantha to the house first.
Yeah. Oh, it's this weird moment where not weird. I mean, it's kind of good. They both know what's going to happen at the end of the night. And so
very consensual.
It's exactly. This is the most consensual hookup, I think, in the history of the show, because she comes over. It's made very clear that they know they're going to end up hooking up and they're planning for it. They have a pair of his clothes for her to wear as pajamas. They know what room they're going to sleep in. They're set up. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate as a person who gets anxious about hookups, I like to plan it. I like to think about it. I like to know how it's going to happen. And so I would appreciate this moment if I was her.
I also appreciate that no one's like slut shaming her for being so what they would call DTF. But like, I mean, I honestly like everything about this interaction. It makes you like Mike more because he actually is showing here that if he likes somebody enough, he does know how to treat them decently. Like he makes sure she's going to be comfortable and that she knows like, here's where you can be. And so I think that would make, if I were her, me more comfortable like drinking. Not that I'm gonna get wasted, but it's just like it takes some of the pressure off so you can have a better time. And the fact that Mike can do this, I think, shows a lot of chivalry, which is great for his brand right now.
And I don't think it hurts though that she's so stunning though. I don't think it hurts.
She is cute as shit. She is beautiful. Really, really cute.
And I don't think that is hurting his, you know what I mean? Like I think that's probably why he's so over the top.
And she's Canadian. We learn.
She is Canadian. We do learn that.
Because there's a lot of jokes flying around. They put A on like talking to her about things, you know, which I just think it's funny too. Like as she goes, like obviously they go out together, but as she's like interacting with the castmates, I even more like her because she has a great sense of humor. Her banter's like funny with them. And yeah, I like this girl, big fan.
She seems to really like Mike back too, because they're at the club and this other girl is kind of touching on him, getting a little close, and she gets real territorial and tells him to back off. What did she say? I forget the exact. She's like, don't touch my man. Get your hands off my man. And Mike likes it. He's into the, territorialness that she kind of, claims on him. And he's like, all right, y'all, that's a wrap. Let's go back because I'm trying to get it in now after my girl just, did that for me. And that's exactly what happens. They go home and they hook up. And I actually have a soundbite because
I'm so glad you do.
I thought this moment was very funny.
Hey, Canadian! Did you know you make Nutella? Yo, what is that? Is that her screaming having sex?
That's the sound of love.
No, they're just doing that.
Are they playing the Canadian?
Mike's brought home a screamer today. I guess that's
Like-
Canadian chicks yell loud
what is
when they're
that
having
music?
sex.
I think it's the Canadian country songs.
And I'm a whore.
With their anthem.
You told me shut up, but do you hear that?
This girl's a keeper. Yeah, this is Mike's wife. He finally found one that's crazy as him.
Girl,
Oh my god.
She's a nice.
It's almost over.
I love Canada.
She says, "Come on, let's do it again."
What? Do you think Mike is the type? Do you think he could go twice in a row? Does he seem like that type? I don't think so.
I wouldn't put a lot of faith in him, to be honest.
I don't either.
Especially if they were on drugs at the time.
And you know what? I think she's putting on a little bit of a show. I'm not gonna lie, because it was a little porny.
It was, but I live for it. You want to let the whole house know you're having a good time? You do it, girl. Hell the fuck yeah.
She was very proud of the fact that she was hooking up with him. She had no shame in it at all. She comes right out after 2.
Yeah, but the confidence is amazing. I love it.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. And the next morning she comes out. There's no walk of shame. She comes out and eats breakfast with the roommates. She's not ashamed.
Feminism, baby.
And I appreciate that, because I'm the opposite. I'm very weird about roommate situations, like hooking up with roommates. I get weird about it. So that's not something I want to be more like her. I envy her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I that's what I said, when in the morning when they're kind of messing with her and they're like, honestly, was he good? Would you come back? And she's cracking up. She is fun. She's definitely down to joke around with them like that. She does leave, shortly after, which whatever, she probably wants to go home and sleep more. I don't think that's anything. And she gets some breakfast with Canadian bacon before she leaves.
Fitting.
I love it.
Also heard a rumor. I don't know if I heard it on the show from the cast or where I heard it, but I feel like somewhere I've heard that Mike has a little penis.
Well, I mean, part of the reason, if you think about it too, part of the reason she could be yelling and screaming, he could just be laying there. Maybe she's riding him and she's doing all the work. And that's why maybe she's really good in bed.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Sometimes you can, figure it out.
She got herself all worked up.
You don't know. Who knows?
I believe that because her attitude was she was ready. So that makes sense.
She was like, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to ride this dick till the whole house hears.
Oh my God.
Well, anyway, we should probably take a little break.
We should.
Be right back.
Can't get enough of hello?
Never.
Well, check us out on social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok at hello pod.
And if you are listening to us, but you'd rather be watching, you can go to patreon.com/hello. There's also going to be tons of bonus content, including bonus episodes and behind the scenes, like how I got my Snooki pove.
And last but not least, if you're a brand or you just want to give us money, send us an email, a professional email at hellopod@gmail.com.
All right, let's get back to the show already.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hello again.
Back.
We are back. So I really enjoy talking. I really enjoy talking about Mike and his very hot girl. But now we have to get into the drama with Angelina, because she had her friend Gina, like we said, and while Mike was in the smush room with Samantha, Angelina decided. This was a choice that Angelina made. Let me just say that. She said, I'm going to have Gina sleep in my bed, and I'm going to have me and Jose, who she met and brought home from the club, sleep in Mike's bed. Why would you not have Gina sleep in Mike's bed? He wouldn't get mad at a girl sleeping in his bed when he's in the smush room. But why would you think, oh, I'm going to have Gina sleep in my bed, and me and a dude are going to sleep in Mike's bed? What?
I think it has. I don't think it was an accident, or I don't think she's blissfully unaware. It always goes back to she claims to want to fit in, but she actively does things to piss people off, and she does things she knows will get under people's skin. She does. I couldn't agree more. She just got in a big fight with Mike. She does this to piss him off. On her behalf, it's smart because she could play it off like, we were just going to bed. It wasn't anything. She plays it off.
She knows it's going to annoy him, and guess what? It does.
Yeah. He wakes up
Jose tries, I think, to like apologize or like say like, hey, thanks. But it's really clear that Mike's annoyed with Angelina, not Jose, but like with Angelina.
And you know what? I would be too. If somebody, especially some strange man, was sleeping in my bed and I'm a straight dude, I would be a little disrespected by that.
Well, in that situation, it's just like it just would have been totally fine had she let Gina sleep in his bed. I don't think he would have thought about it at all. He wouldn't have cared even one bit. And
Right.
and I feel like because he's so mad, he's kind of like pushing, and they I feel like just go in and out of fighting. I think it started actually because he was bitching about it to other roommates, and she was like, if you're gonna talk shit, say it to my face, which kind of like has them blow up. And I think because she kept saying like, drop it, just drop it. Like, I think she just wanted to move forward and like get to this place where everyone was cool, but she's not keeping that energy because she's doing things to piss them off, but then saying like, let's forget it, I'm trying to be cool with everybody. It's like, well, no, you're fucking not. Why am I getting heated right now?
You know what she does? And I'll tell you what she does and why it's annoying. Because she pushes buttons and then doesn't want the fallout. And so she backs up like, whoa, I didn't want all this. Yes, you did. She pokes the bear and then gets mad when she's attacked. Like, it's like she gets bursts of confidence and then it goes away and then she backs out. And that's irritating.
It is irritating. And I understand that, like, to be fair, they are kind of pushing her. Like, JWoww even kind of points out that Mike has a way of like pushing her until it escalates. But I don't think it's like fair. Like, he has a right to be mad, and it's just all like really annoying. One thing that I think is interesting, JWoww is kind of trying to be the voice of reason, and she says something like, I tried to tell her that she needs to just kind of chill and stick it out these next 2 weeks, which means they've only got 2 weeks left. I've been keeping a timeline because, you know, I did this last season, and we're at about a month, which I guess would make sense. They filmed for about 6 weeks total. She's made it to almost about a month at this point, which is significantly further than last season.
Episode 10, good for her. She made it 10 episodes.
But exactly, it is kind of like, yeah, there's only 2 weeks left. Why wouldn't you just like bury your head in the sand and stick it out? You know?
Right. But we'll get into it later. I don't know if she had intention to leave until she was in the car. We'll talk more about it later, though.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Speaking of kind of a muddy timeline, I'm not really sure if everyone goes to sleep and it's then the next day, or if everyone just like takes a nap, because all of a sudden Paulie's kind of waking everybody up. Oh yeah, wake up. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. I remember my friends always in high school doing that. Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, like they did that all the time, all the guys I know. And they go out to do another GTL day. So like, is it the next day? Is it the same day?
I think we lost that whole day. After Mike and Angelina argue, I think we lose that whole day, and then it's morning again.
Okay.
Which day is it that Tom leaves? Jenny's boyfriend leaves? Because let me just say, I don't know when it is, and I don't know, but I forgot he was there.
Oh my gosh. So funny you say that. So this is the day during this whole day event. This is the day that Tom leaves. I wrote the same thing. I put JWoww's boyfriend Tom leaves, literally forgot he was there. Because like I said last episode, there's drama when he first gets there, and then after that it's relatively smooth sailing. There's not anything to show, and if this is at the point where if there's not drama, they're not showing it. And so that's one of the things that the guys go GTL, and JWoww says goodbye to Tom.
I wrote the exact same thing. I wrote Tom leaves. I forgot he was there. She's saying goodbye, and I'm like, who's that? And then I remember, I was like, oh shit, it's Tom.
Yeah, bye Tom.
Good for him. He had a good visit. That means if we didn't know he was there, that means it was a good visit.
That's true. Yeah, like I said, we got a lot of camera time, that means that they were having drama for sure.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't meant they just enjoyed each other's company, and that's it. Which,
right,
if you know, to jump forward, if you know what happens in season 3, this doesn't last. But it's good that season 2 left with him on a good note.
It at least shows why she was like with him, you know. And speaking of not getting a lot of camera time, Snooki is at the gelato shop, which I also tend to forget about here and there. I mean, I feel like they try to weave it some way into every episode, but it's so quick that it's I feel like they're only doing it because they probably got so much crap about like they're not even at the fucking t-shirt shop from like season 1. You know what I mean? Like it feels forced.
It does, and it's such a good premise on paper.
Yeah.
Having them work, it makes so much sense from a production standpoint, but I don't know that it always actually works in practice, which is why they cut it out. Like, I think they think
Right.
it's going to work better than it is.
Yeah, we'll get to like the kind of the list that Snooki makes at the Guido shop in our cookie quote, because we will actually go through the full list. But these are kind of filler moments. I know we kind of throw that word around loosely in the mid-season episodes sometimes, but kind of the biggest point of this part of the episode is that everybody is slowly finding out that Angelina has threatened, I guess, to leave at this point. Like, she's openly said, I want to leave. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I don't know why, if it's worth being here. And that's kind of slowly getting trickled from roommate to roommate so that they all now know that like she wants to go.
But she doesn't ever really come out and say it, though. She's always like, I don't know.
She said
am I
it. She
leaving?
said it to Jenny, kind of, at least enough that like they know it's something she's really considering.
I think she basically said, oh, what reason do I have to stay at this point? So she never said I'm leaving. She was just like, why should I stay? But
You're
again,
right.
she, I think, is just looking to be begged to stay. I think she's
Yes,
looking
but
for
this
someone.
time she gets that.
Yeah. Jenny kind of gives her a moment. That's true.
Jenny, so this is she gets it more than once. When I won't jump ahead. This is the first time she gets it with Jenny, and Jenny's specifically saying, I don't want you to like give up. There's only a couple weeks left. Like, you deserve to be here. So Jenny's really trying to get her to stay. But there are other moments where other roommates do that. So if she's begging for attention, girl, what do you want from them?
I don't think she knows what she wants.
No, I think we got a little bit more to analyze, but do you want to take a quick break before we get into all that?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, G-Wow,
Hey, Cookie.
do you like electro pop music?
Of course.
Well, I love electro pop music, which is why I make it. So I'm going to play a song for you right now. And if you like what you hear, make sure to check me out. You can find all the links on my social medias. I'm available at Angel Iconic Music.
We're heading through a wormhole, baby. You better run, we're coming to Earth. And if we like it there, then we might stay. Your world, it has more than you deserve.
Hello.
We're back.
We are back, and we're gonna get into the leaving of Angelina, because the episode, like I said, is shady. It's called Gone Baby Gone, and she's threatening to leave, whether she means it or not. Let's get into how this goes down.
Well, so they're all getting ready to go out, and they're kind of like, are you going to go with us? And
Mike actually like explicitly invites her, which is big
Right.
of him, I thought.
Yeah, they invite her out, and they ask her, are you leaving? And she says, I don't know, I have to decide. So she decides to stay home and take that moment to decide if she wants to go home. And they all go out to the club, and she starts packing.
Yeah, but I thought that this was another moment where they were really trying to like extend a lifeline to her. Like, Mike was the last one that she had beef with. Jenny had already put in her mind, like, why don't you just like, strap in and be a part of the family for the last 2 weeks. And Mike is the one saying like, hey, we're all gonna do this, why don't you come with us? And he's like being pretty gentle and nice. And so her attitude, I felt like, was unwarranted. And if she had, I think, just suck it up and gone, I think that she could have been convinced to stay and had a much better experience, like, overall. Like, I think this was a big mistake that she made.
I don't know. I guess so, but they would have, I don't know. They would have just ended up fighting the whole rest of the season anyways.
If she just, well, I guess if she wasn't going to change her attitude, yeah, but I wish she'd been willing to change her tune here. This would have been the time to do it. But you're right, she doesn't. She stays behind. The gang goes out, and she starts packing away.
She starts packing, and she's got her bags all ready by the door, but she wants to stay and wait.
Of course she does.
And it's funny because she's just sitting there like nervously drinking a drink, waiting. I think she's really nervous about this confrontation of saying goodbye.
if she actually wanted to leave, she would have left during that time because she would have been like, fuck those people. I'm just going to ghost and I'm going to come home and they're all going to be like, oh, what the fuck? And maybe she was a little bit afraid that they'd come home and be like, yay. But if that's the case, that's just going to make them look like assholes. Like I would have been like, fuck it. The fact that her bags are packed, but she's sitting there means that she wanted them to be like, what? You're leaving? Why? No, girl.
Well, as she's packing, they are at the club and Snooki is aggressively hooking up with the guy. She's having a good time.
Yeah, but so he's the guy, Alex, that they had just made leave because he was there with Angelina when Mike was cleaning the house. I don't think Snooki knew that. Do you?
Don't see. I thought she did, and maybe it was like a revenge thing because she's been taking Snook's sloppy seconds the whole time. So Snooki was like, I'm gonna take yours back.
I don't think she had any idea because I don't think like that guy's face even registered in her mind when he was there with Angelina. Because once she realizes he is connected to Angelina, she's immediately turned off and wants nothing to do with them. Which could have been from the fact that he was shady, which we'll get to. But my reasoning behind her not noticing him is because I think she changes tune immediately when she realizes the situation.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. You're right. Well, what is the situation? So they come home from the club. And I wanted to say really quick.
Yeah.
You said something and it totally reframed my vision of the show. And now I totally see it. But the whole show is just a series of aftermath. Everything interesting that happens on the show is aftermath. So they'll go do something and they'll show it on screen for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. And then they show 15 to 20 minutes of them arguing, discussing, debating about what happened at that thing we barely saw any of.
I have said this before where I said, do you think they just go out in order to have the blow-ups after? Because you're right, there is 1 minute and to 1.5 minutes of fist pumping and club things. But unless there's fighting in the club, we don't get an extended scene of it.
And it's kind of like that with everything they do. They'll like, we're going to go out and it's 1 minute of screen time. And then we're back. And now I hate so-and-so, we're fighting. And then, so the whole show is just aftermath for stuff we don't really see, which is funny. I never saw it that way until now. And now I see it because this is another moment. They go to the club. They're gone for about 1 minute to 2 minutes of screen time.
Just long enough for Angelina to finish packing.
Exactly. But they do get back. They see the bags and they're like, oh shit. Is she really?
Yeah, and they're wound up because they've been drinking. So I don't know why Angelina thought this was a good time to like say goodbye. It's like 2 a.m. or it's Miami, so it's probably like 4 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know when the clubs fucking close.
That would be a morning thing.
And she immediately recognizes Alex because she was just with him, and she kind of like is like, yo, whatever. And when he sits on the couch, I don't know if Snooki then says like he's ditched me for Angelina, or if she then puts it together, or if for whatever reason, I think immediately she's just like, oh, okay, no. What doesn't help is that Angelina flat out says like, oh, are you with Snooki? Have you been making out with Snooki? Did you kiss her tonight? And he says no. And that at that point, Snooki's like, get the fuck away from me, which I love that she stands up for herself.
Hell yeah. Yo, yeah,
like she's not gonna take any shit. She's like pushing him, like, no, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of the kitchen. And then he doesn't know what to do because he like weirdly sits with Angelina, but like they're all telling him to leave.
Yeah, he sort of gets kicked out, which makes sense. And yeah, I think this could have been a moment for Nicole, for Snooki. We call her Snooki a lot, but she's Nicole. So,
at this point, they all are calling her Snooki. Like,
yeah,
we say Mike, and they mostly call him Situation. We say Jenny, they mostly call her JWoww. For whatever reason, Snooki, I don't know, because she's more iconic, and so. Yeah. I don't call her Nicole as much, but I can try and get in the habit. Do you feel like we're disrespecting her? I would never want to do that to our queen.
I was like, do you think she'd prefer to be called Nicole? I forget.
Oh my gosh, Nicole, we are so sorry for being problematic. We will adjust moving forward.
Nicole.
When you know better, you do better.
It feels weird though. Maybe it's Snooki.
Well, speaking of, this kind of turns into Snooki versus Angelina, or Nicole versus Angelina.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
She gets in on this.
I think she feels a little kind of blindsided by I think you're right. I didn't see it that way until now, but I think you're right. I don't think she really was purposely with this Alex character. I think
because you know why? Because how many fucking people are in Miami?
Right.
So why does it end up with these bitches cycling through the same douchebags?
It's maybe they're like fame hungry and they're gravitating nearby.
Are these the only ones that like MTV has approved to be around them? Like what
right?
the like,
Exactly.
you know?
But yeah, they let's just say they have a little tussle.
A little tussle. Oh, they go the fuck in.
I have a clip from like the seconds before the fight, and I just wanted to say this is one of my personal favorite and most quoted moments in my life.
Oh my gosh.
I'm about to play. My high school best friend, Cynthia, if you're listening to this, I don't think you are, but if you are, you're probably not, but if you are.
Shout out to Cynthia.
Cynthia, we used to quote this in high school like at least once a day for like a year. And so this is very, very, very nostalgic for me, and I'm just excited to play it.
Oh my gosh.
All of yous in this house are fake, and I want you all to know that I can't stand any of yous. Fake ass, all of you. Okay, hold my earrings, please.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is what's up. This is what's up.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oops. And then they get in a little fight.
And I love Ronnie at this point, and he's like, in one corner coming in at 4'2" we have Nicole Snooki Paluzzi, and then he's like the other side at 322 pounds.
What is it that the whole cast is standing around laughing and enjoying the show? I think it's because they're just kind of rolling around. It's not like they're not really getting any punches in.
I mean, they're in a good tussle, and I think there's mostly like hair pulling and slapping going on.
Yeah.
But it's so fun. I think it's funny because Snooki is laughing and is treating this like a joke. Like she's like, you know, doing the clap dance thing. And she's like, come on, bring it. And like, she's like swinging her hair around. And like, I don't know. What's also so funny to me is like, Angelina like takes off at Snooki, like lunges at Snooki, and then immediately like curls her legs up. And so then they're just in an actual meatball, fighting each other. And Jenny is like trying to dead weight, like carry them, break them up. And it is just chaotic. And I will say I've critiqued in the past, like their lack of getting involved in the violence, and that is continued here. But it is funny to see Jenny just like pick up Snooki with like basically one arm and just like wah! Like.
But even though she's breaking it up, she's also not taking it very seriously. Like nobody's yelling at them to stop. They're all laughing. But I really think it looks like nobody was getting that hurt. There was a point where they were like locked into a ball, like you said, and they were just rolling around. And who was it? I think it was Vinny. He moved the table. It just gave him room to fight.
He's like, ding, 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 let's fucking go. And
that was very funny.
And at that point, I mean, they're just like, okay, it's time for you to go, Angelina. Like, she's just I mean, I love that quote is really funny. All of yous in the house are fucking fake. But like, at that point, Sammy was like, okay, well, you've just looped all of us into the house. Yeah. And so as Angelina's like kind of doing this like last minute thing, she tries to like say something to Sam, and Sam's basically like, no, you just called us all fake. And I think she tries to double down. It's like, why did it mean you? And Sam's like, no, that's not how it works. You don't get to yell all of yous in the house, and I can't stand any of yous. Right. And then say like, oh, I didn't mean you. No. Keep that same energy and bye.
I have to say really quick, do you think there was a winner of the fight? Obviously, in the long run, Snooki won, but I mean, in terms of the actual tussle, do you think there was a winner?
I couldn't even tell who was who in that ball of the two of them, so it's kind of hard to say, but like Snooki looked relatively unscathed. If anything, like her poof was just deflated, whereas like I feel like Angelina looked a little more disheveled. So maybe I'm biased in picking Snooki, but I feel like even the fact that she was like laughing and joking and being like, come on, like let's go. Yeah. I think she was like chilling. Like I think it kind of tipped in her favor.
Well, Angelina in the long run loses because she decides to leave, and she really leaves on almost the exact same note that she left last time, which is like her being like, all right, I'm out the door.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm 1 foot out. Is anyone coming?
But she's making enemies to the last second. So
she really is. And this is a moment, like I think we've talked about Reddit AMAs before. This is a moment that was a relief to everybody. I think the cast was happy, production was happy. They were all glad to be rid of her. And I won't lie to you, I almost was a little bit like, good riddance. Like, Drama's fun and it's all good, but for some reason, her drama got tired. Like I got bored of it.
It's not always warranted, the drama that Angelina brings. And so I think what's nice, and not to like totally skip ahead because I'm having fun recapping season 2, but I think the difference that Dina is going to bring in season 3 is that a lot of the drama Dina brings is fun drama. It's not yelling, screaming, fighting, annoying drama. It's like goofy, funny, memorable moments. And that's not to say that like, every moment with Dina is perfect or anything, but the vibe is totally shifted when another person who's ready to be a part of the family and not be so combative joins the crew. And so I feel like there is a tension that is lifted when Angelina leaves because her overall attitude is palpable with that energy,
Yeah.
Well, do you want to do the cookie quote?
Hey, let's do it.
So I mentioned this earlier that Snooki had made a list of the things she wants in a Guido, in a man. Would you like to be Snooki who made the list, or would you like to be JWoww who's reading the list?
I'll be Snooki, I guess. Yeah, I'll be Snooki.
Okay.
Look, I made a checklist at work of the guy that I want, my ideal guy.
Snooki's idea man Guido.
Ideal.
Tan Guido, juice head gorilla. Big sense of humor. Likes to party. Fist pumps. Frolics. Isn't a jerk off. A dork at heart. Smells good. Pays for meals. Nympho. Yum. Likes pickles. Takes an interest into my hobbies. Is very protective. Not so serious. Likes to sleep in. Yay!
Yes, and scene.
And scene.
Those are all fair demands, I think.
She doesn't say anything that crazy because most of these are things that a typical, Greedo gorilla juice head would do. They would fist pump, like to party, be a jerk at heart, but be a protective guy.
What does frolics mean? I mean, I know what it means, but what does she want to frolic?
I think that, so how we get those scenes where Snooki's just like running down into random bars and running down the sidewalk and the boardwalk and just like doing whatever. I think that's what she means by frolicking is like running around drunk, causing mild chaos.
She wants a male meatball.
She literally just is describing like the male version of her with more money because he's going to pay for the meals.
Literally, she wants somebody that looks like one of her roommates, but acts like her. Like one of her guy roommates. She wants a big buff guy, but that acts like her. I think
it's fair to say that her husband probably checks off a lot of these things.
All right, I think that's it.
All right. Well, goodbye.
Hello.
No, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
If you want more of the podcast, you can follow us on any social media at Hello Pod.
We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/hello. We've got a video feed there so you can see our beautiful faces while we recap Jersey Shore. And we've also got a little bit of behind the scenes bonus content for you.
And you can find me anywhere online at The Lead Regina, including my website, theleadregina.com.
And you can find me online on TikTok and Instagram at angel.iconic.music.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.